Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about my March reads. I had a really good reading month. I read 16 books. That is so many. That is a lot of books. I haven't read that many since last year. The most books I read last year was 17 in 1 month, which is really excessive, but I had a lot of time on my hands this month, so it resulted in me reading 16 books. So let's just get right into it. I have even a 5-star in here, so I'm very, very excited about that. The first book I read this month was, let's get this up here, Our Poison Love by Isabella Ayubi. And I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. I'm terrible with names. That's just how it's gonna be forever. I gave this one 4 stars. It was just one of those fantasy romances, like YA fantasy romances, that's just like a breath of fresh air because there's no language, it has no spice, there's just kisses. Like nowadays, I feel like in YA, especially fantasy YA books, they're filled with spice. They're filled with spice, and it's like, this YA is targeted to 12 to 18-year-old kids, like 12-year-olds or children. And they should not be reading that kind of stuff. So this is like a true YA fantasy, which I was so happy with. I was like, finally, an author that sticks to what the genre is supposed to be about. And it was well done as well, along with the staying clean and true to what YA fantasy should be. Her writing was so breathtaking and poetic, if you will. It was just beautiful to read this book. And even if it didn't really have any plot, it does have a plot. But it just was fascinating to read just because of her writing style, which I very much enjoyed. Let's see here. I gotta grab my journal here and tell you a bit about what this book is. So it's about Amor and Julie can see the threads of fate. They're like these red threads that she can see. And somebody has a red thread around their wrist and it basically leads to their soulmate. She does not have a string. Hers was broken and dead and gone, so she doesn't have one. Amor basically hires her for her power, for her gift. And I won't tell you why he asks her to help him, but it's for nefarious reasons. Because he is a morally gray male main character. But not the type of morally gray that you usually think about. I feel like a lot of books nowadays where the morally gray man doesn't become a better person for their love interest. But this guy, he becomes better for his love interest. And I enjoy that a lot when they have a very dark past, but they become a better person for somebody else. And I think that's really cool. Really enjoyed it. Lots of fun. There were cute side characters that I really, really loved. So all around, I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend this book, mostly because it's just clean and refreshing, and I really enjoyed that. Then I actually have a physical copy here, Assassin of Fire and Sacrifice, and I talked about this book in my last video, I think. My book haul, I bought this with a bunch of other books. You can see my bookshelf here. I have a bookshelf now, which is crazy. My entire 4 years of marriage to my husband, we've never had a bookshelf, so we're really excited about this new development in our house. And it houses all my cute books. So, Assassin of Fire and Sacrifice by Mecham. So I gave this one 4 stars. It's not very long. It's super short, very quick read. I finished it in like a day or 2. But basically, it's about Tarkin and Azora. Tarkin is the Phoenix Prince of his own kingdom, and she is part of another kingdom. They're enemy kingdoms, and she is an assassin for this other kingdom. And she is tasked to marry Tarkin for an alliance between both kingdoms, whatever. She pretends to be a noble, but she's supposed to go there to assassinate him. Obviously, that probably doesn't end up happening. We know how this story probably is gonna go, but I really enjoyed it. I thought these characters were really fun. Azora, I've read a lot of reviews on this book, and Azora is kind of like talked about, like she's super annoying to a lot of people. I find her funny. It's just, if you know the author, Mary Mecham, she has a very quirky sense of humor, and that is totally embedded into her books. And so if you understand that, you understand where the humor is coming from. I didn't find the female main character annoying. I thought she was quite funny, and I thought that their banter and the teasing and all of that was a lot of fun. Really good, no language, kisses only. They're honestly, she's an assassin, but like she doesn't do those things in this book. So it's not very violent. It's just, honestly, it's YA, 12 to 18 year olds. I would recommend it. It was really cute. I really enjoyed this one. Highly recommend. And I'm glad that I have it on my shelf now. My actual shelf. One of my least favorite books this month. Uneasy Street by Becky Wade. 3 stars. I don't know what to say. Like, this is part of a series called The Sons of Scandal. It's the 3rd and final installment. It's about these 3 brothers. I really enjoyed the first 2. I gave the first book 4.5, and then the second one 4, and then this one 3. So I really enjoyed the first 2. The first book was fantastic. It was the first Becky Wade book I'd ever read, and I really loved it. I really, really loved it. And then the second book was pretty good too. I enjoyed that one. But this one just fell super flat. It was so boring. It was so boring, yet so much was going on. And there's like a ton of plots into one. Like this whole series was kind of like that, where there's like multiple storylines into one book, and that's kind of overwhelming. But it felt like there were too many plot lines in this one, to the point where nothing happened. Like one moment they're talking about this adoption plot, and then there's a missing crown plot, and it's almost like every single plot was talked about and then it didn't like finish, because there was just so much going on. And this book would have been thousands of pages for all of these plots to come together, you know? So I didn't like it, and I didn't like the main character, so that was really hard. The characters were just so bland. Max is the main male main character, and then I'm looking at my notes down here, and then Sloane. They've known each other. They went into business together. He kicks her out of the business, so they're like super not on good terms. They haven't seen each other in a long time. And she ends up renting his above garage apartment, and she doesn't realize it's him. So she goes to his house, she sees him, she's like, oh my gosh, no way am I renting from you. So it's kind of a friends to enemies to lovers. There's a sprinkle of mystery in there because there's like a missing crown. There's multiple points of view. Like I guess it's not Max's mom. The other 2 brothers, they have a different mom than Max, but all of them have the same dad. Max's brother's mom, she kind of has her own love story in this too. So there's her love story, this main couple's love story, the missing crown, an adoption thing, just so much happening, and I just didn't like it. It just wasn't, I don't think it was well done, in all honesty, and I wouldn't recommend this one. I would definitely recommend the first 2 in the series. I thought those were really great. Just this one was a very disappointing end to this world. It is a Christian romance, so there's no language or anything explicit, nothing, just kisses. So that's good. I still don't recommend it, even though it's clean. Okay, then I read The Lucky One. Oh my gosh, I gotta grab my little book here. I finished all my little books this month, so you get to see all of them today. I read The Lucky One by Monique Brasher. I don't know. I gave this one 3 stars. Not because it was like necessarily inherently bad. It just wasn't anything special. It just wasn't that good. The writing is kind of juvenile, but the author does say that she writes her books for the people who enjoy cheesy romances. So she basically, that's like a disclaimer before her books. Like, this is meant to be cheesy and just to have a silly good time. So if you're looking for a cheesy, silly good time, I would recommend this, but I wasn't looking for a cheesy, silly good time. This is like a magical realism book. So if you don't know what magical realism is, it is a type of genre where it takes place in the modern world that we live in, and with a little bit of magic. So they are double booked in a cabin together. Their names are Weston and Bridget. They are double booked in a cabin together, and they stay there together during this week of St. Patrick's Day, whatever. The house that they're staying in, the little cabin, is like a matchmaking cabin, and so it does things while they're staying there to make them fall in love. So that's cute. I thought that was really cute. It's just, it wasn't anything special. It's 150 pages. It's not very long. It's kind of insta-lovey, so I don't love that. There's no language. It's kisses only. It's super clean. But just, I don't know. It just was, I think it was a little too cheesy for me. I can stand a minimal amount of cheesiness, for sure. But I really do like the deeper, more meaningful stories, and this just wasn't that. So if you're looking for something fun and cozy, it's a very cozy romance, and it's perfect, honestly perfect for this time of year, I would recommend it. It just wasn't stellar, but it wasn't bad. So take with that what you will. Then I have another copy here. So That Happened by Katie Bailey. This is one of the books that my husband picked for me to read for my 25 and 2025. And I gave it 4 stars. Katie Bailey, you really just can't go wrong with her. Yes, some of her books are really cheesy and they're really low stakes, this being one of those things. But like, I think I connect with her writing. She's got a fun writing style that I enjoy. This is about Annie and Liam. I didn't even have to look at the names. I was right. Annie and Liam. Their meet cute's really funny. They meet at an airport. They are on the same plane going back to Georgia. She got hired for a new job and they end up not being able to fly out that night. So they have to stay in a hotel. There's this old lady that thinks that they're together. So she books a room for them while they're talking to somebody else. And so they have to stay together in this room because the whole hotel is booked out. You know how that trope goes. And they stay together. And nothing happens. They don't even kiss, nothing like that. And he ends up leaving her in the morning before she even wakes up. And so they do end up on the same plane. They go to Georgia. She goes to her new job and she finds out that he is her boss. Awkward. He is like a follow the rules kind of guy. So he's like, well, that shouldn't have happened and we can't have a relationship. So no more on that. We're putting the kibosh on that. That's not happening anymore. It's kind of a forbidden romance. They kind of have to fight their feelings for each other. We know how this ends. It's romance. I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it. There's minimal language. There's not very much. It is kisses only. So I just like Katie Bailey. Katie Bailey's just fun. She's really fun, very unserious. I would recommend this. And I got to cross off one of the books that my husband picked for me this year, so I'm really happy with that. Ooh, this was the worst book I read this month. Oh, can you see that? Hail Mary Catch by Marie Veillon. I don't know how to say her last name. I gave this one 2.5 stars, rounded down to 2 on Goodreads. I hated this. I really don't love talking poorly about books, but when it's just so bad, I have a very hard time being positive about it. But this one in particular was really hard for me to read. For one, I almost DNF'd it. It should have been a DNF, but I didn't. I have no self-control. But it was a marriage of convenience. I wanted to give this author a chance, and so I started reading it. I thought, oh, this could be good. Ultimately, it fell very, very flat, and I will tell you why. So much language. Everything under the sun except for the F word. I had to stop counting because there was so much language. I was like, I can't even keep count anymore for all of the swearing. It is closed door. Nothing happens on page. It's not even fade to black or anything. But they talk about intimacy within a marriage. Almost the entire book, every single conversation was overly sexual. And it was just like, why is this happening right now? Why are they talking about this? And they talk about it in such a vulgar and crass way, like disrespecting the sanctity of marriage. I was just like, what is happening? What is happening right now? And I had a really big problem with that. And then in her acknowledgments at the end of the book, she thanks God for directing her hand and writing her books. And I was like, oh no, I don't think that's what happened here. Because like they were very disrespectful towards marriage. There was so much cursing. Maybe that's normal. I don't know. In the Catholic faith, I'm not Catholic. I don't know if that's like okay or not, but like it just felt like such a contradiction to me. And I didn't like it. Like her characters are Catholic, they're Christian, they go to church, yet they have super bad mouths and they talk to other people about their intimacy within their own marriages, and it's like super normal to talk about that. And I just find that very disturbing, honestly, very, not disgusting, but kind of. Like, I find intimacy within a marriage is very sacred, so I just really did not vibe with this book at all. It's probably the only book that I for sure would not recommend to my audience because it didn't feel closed door just because of the way they talked about it. It was just, too much. It was too much, and I didn't like it. So, not recommend. Then I listened to I Think He Knows. Another one by Katie Bailey. Yes. This is the same series. The Donovan family. There's only 2 books in the series, but she is the sister to the main guy in that one, Liam, in that book. I gave this one 4 stars. It was honestly a pretty good audiobook. I would recommend it if you don't have time to sit down and read it. It's about Carter and Lana May. And Carter is a celebrity. He is a actor, and he's been best friends with Lana May since college. And Lana May. I think it's Lana. Oops. So Lana May, they obviously have feelings for each other, but they never admit those feelings until this book, even though they've been friends for a decade, which sometimes I'm like, come on, you've never felt romantic feelings towards your friend of the opposite sex ever for 10 years, and then all of a sudden, poof, they're in love. I just don't find that realistic most of the time, but I let it slide in this one. You take what you can get. She's a single mom. Something happens and they have to be fake engaged. So we do like that kind of trope. And they're friends. I more and more friends to lovers has been a trope that I am starting to be endeared towards. I really enjoy that plot because enemies to lovers in a contemporary romance just is not realistic to me. And even friends to lovers sometimes. But in this case, I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to it. The narrators did a good job. And I enjoy the fake engagement plot. So, if you enjoy fake engagement, I think this one was really good. So, and again, Katie Bailey. You can't really go wrong with her, even though most of her books are quite cheesy. And this one does have Taylor Swift references in it, and I don't like Taylor Swift. So, and I'll talk about that in another book, actually, that I read this month. This book, actually, I Knew He Was Trouble by Amanda. I'm not even going to attempt that last name, because that is just... No. This one actually is the book that has a ton of Taylor Swift references. Obviously, the title of this book is a title of one of Taylor Swift's songs. I don't like Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift references really bother me, because it's like, why? Why does every author feel the need to have their main characters like Taylor Swift? There's no need. There's no need. And it doesn't, not every woman's going to relate to that. So just a lot of independent authors stick Taylor Swift in their books. They have a lot of Swiftie references. I would rather go without. So, but if you like Taylor Swift, then this book is for sure what you'll like. You love it. But I gave it 3.75 stars. Yes, I'm very exact on my star ratings. It didn't feel like a 4-star and it didn't feel like a 3.5. So we got to go somewhere in the middle with 3.75. These two are neighbors, Tyler and Kelsey, and he works out at 4 a.m. every single day in his home, and her bedroom is right next to his bedroom. They can see each other's windows, and she can hear him working out at 4 a.m. And so she has created these preconceived notions about him. She's like, oh, he's such a jerk, even though they've never met, even though they've been neighbors for 2 years. That's beside the point. This is going to be a series, Sweeter Than Fiction series. These 4 best friends live in this house together, these girls. And so each of them will have their own book, which I think is fun. I think I'll read at least one more, but we'll see. He is tasked to watch his niece for like 3 months because his sister has to go to a thing in Africa. And so he has to take care of his niece. And he's like, well, I'm a doctor, so I can't watch her all day long. He asks Kelsey to nanny for 3 months, and she's like, sure, what's another job? She's got like 5 jobs. She takes care of the niece, and obviously that's kind of a forced proximity situation. They see each other all the time. There's some prank wars in here, and let me just disclaimer here real quick. I don't like prank wars. I don't like them. I feel like grown adults playing pranks on each other is just a big turnoff for me. I don't like it. But these ones were tasteful. I thought they were kind of funny. They're definitely something that I would do. Like, you know, the little rubber ducky prank where you put like hundreds of rubber duckies in somebody's house. Like stuff like that, which I think is really funny. So I enjoyed the prank wars in this. I don't usually like that. So if you're not a prank wars fan, I still think you would enjoy this. I thought those were fun. I thought it was cute. Again, it's nothing special, not something I'd write home about, and I'll probably forget about it. But for the time, I thought it was sweet, and honestly, I would recommend it. It's super clean, kisses only, no language, so cute. Then I read Once Upon a Rose by Gabrielle Landi. I gave this one also 3.75 stars. It's my thing, whatever. And it's a marriage of convenience, so it It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling as well. Like a Regency era Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. A little bit of fantasy. It's really cute. Super cozy, probably the most cozy book I've read all month. But basically, he is cursed, right? He's the beast. His name's Alexander. And Beatrice is in his employ, so he's like, well, I kind of know you, so would you marry me? And she's like, sure, why not? She doesn't know about his curse yet. And so she marries him, and I really enjoyed both characters. They were very, very sweet. And there is a little dragon in it. He's cute. Or she. I think it's a she. It's a grumpy sunshine, although I will say he's not a beastly guy. He's not rude to her. He's actually very good to her. And I just think he's a little grumpy. I enjoyed it. Super cozy. It's a marriage of convenience. You know how I feel about those. They always get an extra star just for being a marriage of convenience. It's a quick read. What else do I need to say? That's it. I enjoyed it. And I recommend it. I feel like I don't need to take a lot of time on these books besides saying yes or no. So it is perfectly clean. No language, kisses only. Highly recommend. Okay, now I have my first 5-star this month. Driving Maisie Crazy by Deborah M. Hathaway. This one, my friends, is so cute. It was so cute. Oh my gosh, give me all of the crumbs from this book. I originally actually gave it 4.5 stars, but then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I didn't find any fault. No fault. So like, why wouldn't it be a 5-star? I just don't give 5 stars out willy-nilly. I will give it praise where it is due. I thought this was so cute. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just loved it. I loved it so much. And I really recommend it. There's no language. Kisses only. It's about Finn and Maisie. Maisie is an American. She comes to Ireland for a couple of weeks on a bus tour to go around the country a little bit, try some soups. That will make sense in a second. And her tour bus guide is Finn. And it's kind of a forbidden romance kind of thing. He cannot fraternize with his passengers, but they are really fighting their feelings all of the book. And I find that so cute. He flirts with her. He's a big old flirt. Super cute. Basically, she is in Ireland because she's been traveling all of Europe with her aunt. Her aunt and her aunt and her are opening a restaurant together in Boston. And it's going to be like soups of the world. So they've been trying these soups. She has a little quirk where she has this little journal. She writes about all of the soups that she's read or eaten. And she basically says what she thinks is in it, how it tastes, how it smells, how she felt while eating it, whatever. So oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. It was just so cute, and I would really recommend reading it. This is part of a series called Men of the Isles, and this is book 2. So it's these 4 friends, these 4 guy friends that met at Eton, which is a school in Europe somewhere. And oh my gosh, I can't even breathe. These 4 boys met at school, and so they've been friends since then. And they're all from a different country. So book 1, he's from England. Book 2, Finn is from Ireland. Book 3, I think the next guy is from Germany. Nope, he's from Wales. And then book 4 is the guy from Germany. So I think that's a super cute concept. I'm really excited to read the rest of these. I need to go back to book 1. I have not read that one. But honestly, this one was just so cute. It was so cozy. I just cannot, just like look at it. It's just so cute. I need to put this one on my shelf. I really loved it, and I cannot sing its praises more. You need to go read it. You just need to go read it. It's pretty long. It's 360 pages, but I loved it. These characters were so cute, and his Irish accent was so funny. And he just said some of the funniest stuff. Like it's got humor, it's got cute moments, it's heartwarming. Like, it's just so cozy. I just really loved it. And it's a forbidden romance. And obviously they break the rules a little bit. So we like to see that. That book is my only 5-star of this month, which is unfortunate. Then I'm just going to talk about these in tandem real quick. Engaged in Espionage. Let me switch hands. Engaged in Espionage and Married to Mischief by Jenessa Fayeth. Basically, I'm going to talk about these together because they're these short stories. They're not even novella length. They're like 60 pages. They're not long at all. They're basically the epilogues to both of these books. So this one goes with Date with Danger, and this one goes to Taken with Trouble. I actually have Taken with Trouble on my shelf. Basically the epilogues of both of those stories, so I can't really talk much about these. I gave them both 4 stars. If you've read those 2 books, I highly recommend you read these because it kind of just wraps up their stories with a big, beautiful bow. But I would recommend them, especially if you've read those. I feel like you'll want to see how these characters, how their story ends. And I think these were a really great ending to them. Can't really talk much again about them because if you haven't read the other 2 books, then you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. But this one's about Caleb and Amelia. I think it's Amelia. And Liam and Serena. I like Liam. Oh my gosh, did I do the wrong one? Liam and Serena, Caleb and Amelia. I like Liam and Serena a lot more. Their story was just a lot more fun to me. Really enjoyed Taken with Trouble. That one was a 5-star read, actually. So I would recommend if you want to see how these, see how these stories end. Oh my gosh, I feel like I've been talking for ages. I'm not well right now. I have a stuffy nose and a cough, so that's really fun. So I'm losing my voice a little bit. Next, I read Secret or Shutout by Leah Brunner. And this is the 4th and final book in the DC Eagles hockey series. And I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. There's a bit of language. It is kisses only. There is a fade to black scene in the epilogue. It's literally the last paragraph. It's not explicit, but you can totally skip it. But this is about Bruce and Farah. Farah, her brother is Ford Remington from book 3. So it's a brother's best friend. Yeah, it's brother's best friend. Bruce is the goalie for the DC Eagles. I thought it was really cute. It's definitely more of a deeper romance. She has PCOS, and so she struggles with fertility, and she wants children, but she doesn't think she'll ever have them. So there's like that struggle in this book. So that's pretty heavy. So if you struggle with something like that, that could be hard to read about. Basically, Farah, she is a baker, and they meet. There's like a prologue. They meet a year before the story actually begins. They share this kiss. She finds out that he is the goalie on her brother's hockey team, and she's like, oh, we actually can't talk, so never mind. So they don't date for like a whole year, and then he's so up and open about his feelings for her, which I really loved. He was great at communicating with her. He told her what he wanted, which I thought was so refreshing. I'm like, people who can communicate, I'm like, come on. We need more adults that can do what he does. It's about their romance together, obviously. I really liked their story. Again, it's nothing terribly special. I did give it 4 stars. I just like Leah Brunner's writing. I connect with it too. I thought it was the perfect ending to this series, mostly because the guys and the couples from the previous books play such a huge part in this. And usually I feel like that overshadows the main love story, but I felt like it didn't. I felt like those people needed to be in this book as much as they were, and I just thought it was the perfect ending. It kind of came full circle for everybody and kind of showed all of their endings, and I really enjoyed that. And I felt like it didn't take away from Bruce and Farah's romance. So I really enjoyed it. It was really cute, lots of fun. There's some language, not like a whole ton. There's no F words, but there's that. Then I read A Time Traveler's Masquerade. Yeah, by Sian and Bessey. I don't know how to say that name. Sian. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I gave this one 4.25 stars. I very much enjoyed it. Really liked it. It's about Isla and Simon. Isla is from the year 2025. She has to find this costume for a work party, and she goes to this quirky lady's costume shop, and she is going there for a specific thing, and this lady's like, no, you need to try this on. And she's like, well, I came here for this, I don't need that. But the lady was insistent, so she goes to this specific dressing room, and the dressing room teleports her to the year 1603, I'm pretty sure, which is the year of the Guy Fawkes gunpowder plot. And so she meets Simon. Simon finds her on his sister's doorstep in the rain, and he's like, who's this crazy person? And I just thought it was so funny. Like, she's from 2025, and so she speaks very differently than how they speak. And so it's funny when she's talking and the people from 1605, or I think it's 1605, 1603 or 1605, I don't remember. They're just like, what are you talking about? We have no idea what you are saying. You're crazy. So their communication was very funny to me. I think that was very well written. Simon was so cute. They were so cute together. I really enjoyed their romance. It's not like the forefront of the story, but like it still was very prevalent, and I really enjoyed that. There are parts of each chapter, not every chapter, but most, where Guy Fawkes's point of view comes into play, and I kind of skipped over those because I was familiar with the Guy Fawkes plot, and so I just felt like those were really unnecessary. So if you are familiar with the gunpowder plot, just skip over those parts. I just was like, I don't want to see how this guy's feeling. I don't care. So that's just like one thing that I didn't really love. I was like, these weren't very necessary for this book to be good. Very much enjoyed. It is my first like time traveler book since I started my reading journey again 2.5 years ago. I thought that was a lot of fun. I think I need to pick up more time travel books because like I really enjoyed it. And I honestly, I don't think I could have guessed how this would have ended. I was like, how are they going to end up together? Like, how is this going to finish? They both have families in their own time. Like, how's this going to work? And I think it really did end well. I really enjoyed the plot and the story. Not necessarily the Guy Fawkes plot, but like how she is involved in that plot. I just thought that was so well done. And the author stays true to the history of that plot. Then I read Make Mine Sweet by Jenny Carrick. And I gave this one, I think 3.25 stars. I don't like Jenny Carrick's writing, ultimately. I gave her, I think this is the third book in this series. I don't remember. Love and Sunshine maybe is what it's called. I read the second book in the series last year as an arc. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't like it, but that was the first Jenny Carrick book I read. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to give her another try this year. And the cover was adorable. I was like, okay, this looks cute. I like the plot. We'll see how this goes. And it just ended up falling flat. Like, I just don't think I like Jenny Carrick's writing. I don't think I'll ever pick anything else up by her. But like, a lot of people do love her. So don't let my opinion sway you from ever picking anything up by her. Like, you may like her. So there's one swear word. The A word is used once. I thought that was so random. I was like, why put language in your book if you're just going to have it said once? Like, that was so unnecessary. I forgot their names and I haven't put them into my journal yet. So I don't remember their names. Obviously, this book was extremely unmemorable to me. I literally finished it like less than a week ago. I finished this and I don't remember their names. So basically, he lost his leg in a motorcycle. Wow. He lost his leg in a motorcycle accident. He's been kind of a recluse for 2 years. He and his brothers own this climbing company. And so he just was like, well, I can never climb again. And so he's really down in the dumps on himself. And so he just holes up in his aunt's house for like 2 whole years. She moves into the duplex next to him. And she's super happy and sunshiny, so she like breaks away the walls on his heart, and they fall in love with each other. So she is a single mom. The little boy is super adorable, so that was fun. Honestly, this is so unmemorable. I don't even remember what even happens in this book. So if that doesn't tell you anything, it's just kind of boring, and there was really no point in this book being written. Like, there was no plot. Yes, the characters fall in love, but I need more. I need a deeper plot and people who have real life struggles. Like, obviously these characters do struggle. Like, she's a single mom. He lost his leg in a motorcycle accident. So there are those things, but just, I don't know. It just feels very surface level. Like, it doesn't go deeper, and I need more than that. So if you're just looking for a fun, good time and low stakes, this is definitely probably a book that you would enjoy. I just don't like Jenny Carrick's writing, and I don't think I'll pick anything else up by her. Then, this is the last book, I swear. The last book I read this month, This Rotting Heart by Celeste Baxendell, and I gave this one 4.25 stars. It's nothing special, but like, I don't know, something about it. Celeste's writing is really immersive, I feel like. And so I really enjoyed that. The king of the sun elves, his land is dying, and he needs to marry an alchemist to have this alchemist come be the king's alchemist. And he's like, well, let's just get married. And so this girl, her name is Hellebore, which is an awful name, but that is her name. She agrees to marry him because she wants to be a king's alchemist. He asks her to heal the flowers of his kingdom because they are like the life force of his kingdom. And she's like, well, I usually kill things, but I'll do my best. And so it's about their relationship, their marriage, how they help each other. I don't know. It wasn't anything special. There wasn't necessarily like this huge plot. I just think that I like married couples in books. I don't know. It's just, there's something about it. Like marriage at conveniences, arranged marriage, fake dating, fake engagement, whatever. I really like that. I like when two characters who are definitely at odds. They don't get along. They kind of are enemies, honestly, where they can put their differences aside because of their predicament. They are married and find common ground. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. And they do that in this book, and I really love that. I even actually shed some tears in one of these chapters, and I don't do that ever. I really liked it. I had a really good time reading this book. It was a lot of fun. Even though it's kind of a sad book, there's some really sad things in it. But he calls her Sunshine, and I just thought that was so cute. I don't usually like that nickname, but it so works for their relationship. I thought it was so funny, but cute at the same time. Oh, the guy's name is Tayo. He is, like I said, the king of the Sun Elves. And yeah, there isn't really much to say except that I really liked it, and I think that a lot of people would really enjoy this. There's no language, it's kisses only, so what do you got to lose? And it's not very long. It's less than 300 pages, so highly recommend. Overall, I think I had a really good reading month. Lots of 4 stars, a couple of less than 3 stars. It is what it is, whatever. But I did have a 5-star in there, so that's always good. When I have at least 1 5-star in a month, that's like huge for me, because sometimes I go months without a 5-star. So that was super refreshing. I really am really happy with that. I have no life updates except for my bookshelf, which I'm very excited about. Maybe I'll do a bookshelf tour one day, but you know what? I've got like 20 books on there, and that will take me about 5 seconds to introduce you to my bookshelf. So, and you can see it from here. And I hope that you guys like it, because I do. It's really cute. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.